Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Astera Labs. It is time for another update, and on this chart unfortunately we haven't been able to track the idea of an impulse ever since we broke the $149 level. There was a decent attempt to extend to higher prices within an impulse, but it ultimately failed, and now we have to track the idea of a larger leading diagonal within the bullish interpretation, where this would be a wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, and we would have here a wave A to the upside part of a large wave 3. Yeah, this is unfortunate because we do not have an established uptrend to really trust this movement to the upside, this structure, and we do not have a high probability pattern to suggest that we will be looking to extend to higher prices. I could consider this very easily just a WXY pattern, for example, where a top would be in place in a corrective pattern and we may be heading to much lower prices. Yeah, not something that we would ideally want to see within such a structure, within a reliable uptrend. Yeah. Now, on the chart, we have the area of support in white available to track continuation higher within this idea, and below the $68 level is already a quite great warning sign that this would just become even less reliable. And right now I'm looking for a bottom to form in this wave B within a 3-wave pattern, which is exactly what we have been looking at within this orange interpretation. Now, the ideal target for the wave C has not yet been achieved. We had that at the 100% extension of the wave A, which sits at the $96 level. And this isn't necessarily a deal breaker. We did reach the 78.6% extension, which was very much in line with the 50% retracement. And we could be looking at a bottom, especially since we would be in the very late stages of a full count within a wave C in this area. But again, from a larger time frame perspective, we have nothing strongly suggesting that this will succeed in forming the next wave to the upside, the larger wave C. I will consider a potential bottom to be in place within this wave B, but currently I do not have any reliable pattern to assume that the uptrend has already started. Now, in the previous video, we have been tracking the structure within this wave C to the downside, and we had a potential bottom within the wave 3, we even had a count for a potential extension, and it seems that we extended to the downside still, but I would go as far as to consider that this wave 3 has instead unfolded as an impulse, and then we would have this still as a wave 4 correction where we would need to adjust the area of resistance, and a wave 5 would be currently taking place, where technically a bottom could be in. Yeah, we could already start the wave C to the upside from a large time frame perspective, but from the perspective of this time frame, this wave 5 does seem to be incomplete. It does seem very much ideal that we form yet another low before assuming a bottom would indeed be in place. So I would go as far as to track this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and I will change this to a larger degree. And while I'm adding here the area of resistance for the wave 4, I wanted to give you a moment to leave a like on the video if you enjoy this update, if you enjoy our content and you want to support us. Yeah, if you want to support us even more, you can check out our channel membership. But here we would be watching the area of resistance up to the 61.8% retracement at the $121.5. And I would expect this wave 4 to form a 3-wave correction, which currently is in place. We have gotten a break above this area of resistance today, but nothing sustained so far. Yeah, even within the 30-minute time frame, we did not get a sustained break, yet just multiple weeks above it. And at this point, I would prefer that we form another low before considering this count to be more clearly full. Now, as I always say, towards the end of a larger trend, it does happen that we do not form the very last wave, and in the case of this structure, well, we would be looking at a wave 5 of a wave 5 of a wave C to the downside. It is possible that we will not get it. I would not hold it against this structure to manage to extend higher prices, but I would prefer it to have a more clearly available full pattern, a clearly full count within this area. And at this point, I wouldn't be able to look for a 5-wave pattern to occur within this wave 5 to the downside, but I would not be able to rule out the possibility of an ending diagonal within this wave C since it is within a very small time frame. Not a preference for me, but technically we would still need to break more relevant levels of resistance for a signal that a more substantial bottom would be in place, especially since we did not create, even within this small time frame, a reliable structure. Yeah, we do not have an initial 5-wave move to the upside that would suggest strongly that after a 3-wave correction, we would be looking for at the very least another 5-wave move to the upside that would be very much expected to push beyond any relevant resistance level that would allow an extension in this structure. But what is of notice is the break above the previous wave 4 high at the $135. If we manage to get through this, it would be a strong signal that a bottom would be in place within this wave to the downside and that we would be looking for the reversal potentially, or at least a more substantial relief rally, because remember, on this chart, we do not have a reliable pattern. We will need more evidence for a more substantial breakout to become more clear. And honestly, on this chart, unless we identify that structure, a strong indication that the bottom would be in place, looking for positions within this area might make sense, but only with very, very rigorous risk management, because we wouldn't be able to rule out the possibility of a reversal above $68. Only below that would we really start to disconsider this interpretation, and yeah, we might be looking to go to that level. We would still be within a huge percentage loss, and while you might be comfortable going into that region without having a stop loss and anything like that above, consider that we could go much lower, as this structure is not strongly suggesting that we would succeed in creating the next wave to the upside. Unfortunately, this remains a low probability chart since it has broken its idea of an impulse that would have been tracked in this movement to the upside in a more direct fashion. And at this point, to make a summary, we have a potentially full count within this structure. We might be looking ideally at another low, and we are looking for a potential reversal, but at the same time, the larger time frame perspective is not suggesting with high probabilities that this will occur. We will need to identify within a smaller time frame an initial 5-wave move to the upside to look again with high probabilities for a potential trade setup on this chart. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you would like me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.